welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about Tesla. We're going to look at the daily chart, the weekly chart. Basically we look at the charts to give us a little bit of an edge. It helps us identify where price is going to go in the short term, long term. It helps us remain calm when markets are choppy. It helps us know when we've got a good price, when we can get good risk reward entries and then de-risk as things get a little bit spicy. Other than that, we're going to take a look at the short and long dated open options interest. That gives us a little bit of an insight in what the big boys in the market are doing. We're going to look at the Tesla news, see what's coming on the horizon. Is it exciting? Is there some bad news coming? All that good stuff. Other than that, though, if you can't be bothered to stick around for the main content of this video, I'm still super bullish on Tesla, and that's pretty much the key takeaway. Other than that, my live portfolio there is linked in the description below, and I've chucked it up on the screen there for you. Doing pretty good for the last 2 years there. Right. Okay, so apologies. I know I look a little bit bedraggled, but it's been a hell of a month with my mum being really sick for a while and then passing away. But let's just hop straight into Tesla and check out what's happening there. The whole stock market is going through emotional trauma, so it's such fun times all around. But on the bright side, I do know that these kind of things in the market can be really instrumental in setting yourself up for some really good bull runs. So these aren't the times when to be afraid. If you really believe in your company that you're investing in, what's changed really? The price has got cheaper. Why would you sell because the price has got cheaper? The fundamentals haven't changed. The macro looks set for an excellent finish to the year. Really, I don't see it. I see this as an excellent buying opportunity, and I will be coming into some money over the next few months. So it's kind of fortunate for me, a little bit bittersweet. So let's take a look at the Tesla charts. We've got a nice double bottom forming here. The bull market band has flipped bearish, which isn't great, but again, this is happening across all of the market, so the fear is really pushing prices down on a lot of stuff. Interestingly enough, though, Tesla is up pre-market, which is a little bit odd. Supports below, we've got that 313. We do have also 290 here as well, but it would be super nice to get back to where this gap was at 250. Now, that might be wishful thinking. I think that would be quite crazy. Price for Tesla has actually held up quite well considering all the hate and fear that we're seeing. To the upside, 400 again, that's going to be a key level, but I think this golden Fibonacci is going to be a tough one for us to break again. We've kind of held off on that one a few times. RSI, we're getting a little bit down there in the dumps now. Tesla doesn't like recently to go there too much, but I mean, for now it does look like it's attempting a bullish divergence, but we'll see. The MACD Plus looks not great, looks like it's approaching death cross, but institution's still pretty decent on this one, and flow is kind of negative, but we did have the golden bar on there. Now, fair value for Tesla, I think is going to be between 500 and 700 towards the year end. Now, a lot is happening for Tesla. We'll talk about it in the news section, but there's a lot of things changing, a lot of pricing we don't know, a lot of product launch ramps we don't know, and we don't know when they're going to become profitable. So it's going to be quite hard to be super accurate with price predictions for Tesla this year. But it's going to be in that range, I think. I think it's going to happen quite quickly as well. Well, not quickly, definitely kind of mid-year when things start ramping and we start seeing the new products, and there's definitely some exciting things happening. Take a quick look at the weekly though. Almost forgot. Sorry, I'm trying to get back in the habit of remembering the format of these videos. I've had such a long time off. Might be a little bit rusty here. So weekly. RSI is kind of neutral. The MACD Plus indicator actually looks a lot better. That was a bit Somerset. A lot better on the weekly chart. We obviously had the overbought here. Typically, the overbought signals on this align really well with the tops on Tesla. So they're really good places to kind of sell out. So if we look here, overbought here, it rolled over. Overbought here, it had a little bit of a pullback, and overbought kind of here. This was the danger area, wasn't it? Yeah, this one as well, overbought. So it's fairly accurate. It's good to kind of, if you're approaching resistance levels and you get an overbought signal, it's probably good to take off a little bit of risk. I did want to go quickly back to the day chart though. I forgot to mention that we do look like, if this volume shelf doesn't hold, we do have quite a considerable air gap down to kind of the midline of that gap there where we had the three previous tops here. So I do think if we break out of this kind of flag, we will head down to this 270 area. Purely because there's just no volume there that wants to hold. There's a little bit on that little yellow line, so if we don't get a bounce there again, we're going to push down. So I just wanted to point out because I think I forgot to mention it. So let's take a quick look at the options market on this one though, if it loads. Okay, so support, we're quite close to where the market makers are going to be sitting, where they're going to want to keep the price above, because that is max pain for the people shorting Tesla. And there is quite a large runway up to resistance. Now that's not necessarily going to happen overnight. That's just where the market makers want to keep it between those prices. They don't have to hold. They can move lower. They don't always have enough volume or enough power to control that. The expected move, as you can see here in the dot, the kind of navy area, could push us below that if there's some bad sentiment. But for the most part, a lot of the volume is sitting in the middle of that range. But again, these strikes are for this week, so take that with a pinch of salt. Normally when I'm looking at where the kind of strikes are sitting, I want to be looking a little bit further out, so I'll take a look at about a year. If I can get rid of that stupid thing. So January 2026, which is where I'm expecting price to be about 400 to 700. If we pull these strikes down, we can see a lot of the volume is, in agreement. That's where it is. There is a lot down 200, so there's some people banking on the collapse of Tesla. I think that's quite unlikely given what they're bringing to the market. But we can wait and see. And then if we push it out to the max we can get, let's just do January 2027. That'd be a bit more consistent. See what the market's thinking then. I mean, the strike volume's a lot higher, so the overall sentiment from the big boys on this one, the big institutions, is higher, baby, higher, further, faster, which is great. Really, not much interest in the lower strikes, and the expected move over 2 years really is going to be quite large. So bear that in mind. Whilst market makers will try to manipulate it through these resistance and support areas, it doesn't hold when we have big moves that pushes higher, and these resistance levels will move week to week as well. There is literally tons of Tesla news right now. I'm probably not going to be able to hit it all or everything that I'm missing, so you're just going to have to beaver around for some data yourself. So I'll just go through some of the interesting things that I've been grabbing around. Uber CEO says Musk wants to go alone on Tesla Robotaxi. I think going with Uber would have been a good idea on this, but I understand why they won't. Musk could probably do it better. He just has a knack for doing everything better and at better cost. I think Uber's going to attempt a bit of competition, but I don't think it's going to go well. I think there will be two separate products in the end, won't they? There's lots of talk, other companies wanting to go driverless with Uber, but the technology is just not there. It's certainly not at a scalable level unless there's some licensing done with Tesla, and then that they use that kind of, I don't know. But either way, I'm okay with this move. Don't hate it, don't love it. I just think either way would have been fine. Uber obviously has got the quicker go-to-market strategy, but I think Musk will have no problem scaling up quickly. What else do we have? The Tesla breaks the mold again. Looking at some of the tech involved with the colouring of the new cars, to inject the colour straight into it rather than having to paint it. It's a great idea. I don't really know why it hasn't been done at scale previously. It's just better for time management and speeding up production. And also, when you damage a panel, it's going to be less obvious, won't it? Because the color underneath will be the same. So I mean, the repairs should be a lot simpler as well. In that case, should be able to buff it out quite well for a lot of shallow things. Curious Peggy, I mean, he's great. He does a lot of great, really detailed Tesla content. If you're a Tesla investor and you don't follow him, he's over on YouTube and X, super detailed, always posts quite regularly. He just did a quick list here of all the stuff that's coming this year for Tesla. Affordable model release imminent. Sorry, whacked my microphone. Unsupervised FSD less than 100 days away. Really exciting. Cybercabs getting manufactured imminent. Cybercabs out on the road. Seen a few videos of that. FSD about to enter China, Europe. We talk a little bit more about on that in a second. More dojo jobs. I put a little screenshot here as well of some of the dojo jobs listening. So that's really ramping up as well, and that's something that's more of an options play for Tesla. Very exciting. Tesla hiring for bot production, things ramping up nicely there. The Model XS refresh, the Model Y refresh has been quite successful so far, so that's exciting. The Model Y delivery is about to happen. The Megapack Shanghai is ramping. I'm so excited about the Megapack and how fast they've been able to put up that factory. It's been incredible. Powerwall ramping again. Power, that's one of the things that I'm mainly interested in. Semi is close to mass producing. Again, something else most people aren't accounting for. Tesla about to enter India and Saudi. We've started to see the exports going on that as well. So this is a really large tailwind tidal wave coming at a time when Tesla price is being compressed. So do with that as you will. And then we'll talk a little bit about the China, the FSD. I mean, it's kind of it's a bit of a rumor. It's not really been confirmed. At least I don't think so. I couldn't find any concrete confirmation of it. Basically, the update for the vehicles is going out, and it mentions on there about the FSD kind of stuff being pushed out, and that wouldn't be allowed to happen if it hadn't been approved via regulations. So I'd like to keep looking at that one. I'm not going to take that as gospel for now, but I've done the little translation option here, and it's got kind of the pricing in there, so it looks good. Did some napkin math on that. I mean, I did 8K per license. If we went on last year's numbers for China and Europe, with about 10% purchase rate, it's probably quite ambitious, but I've kind of offset that with the lower license. That would be an extra $720 million to the bottom line. Again, adding that on top of the growth from the mega packs, that is phenomenal. I don't know how you can be bearish in that situation. And that's only a fraction of all this new stuff that's coming. Other than that, I wanted to talk a little bit about macro. Obviously, macro fear is very bad right now, but the market is holding fairly well. I think people are looking for an excuse to dump things, so I expect a few days of dumpage coming, and I'm going to be buying. I'm going to deposit some money. I'm going to buy a lot more. True inflation rates holding steady. It's not really going up. Government numbers are a bit skew. I don't trust the government numbers at all. A bit fishy. But we know the dollar's rolling over, the 10-year is rolling over, quantitative tightening is still going on, but we know QE is going to have to come. Oil prices is falling, that's going to help with inflation as well. US debt is being handled, so that's going to allow other countries to start reinvesting in the long-term bonds and stuff. The job market is weak. Obviously, we're seeing all the government jobs being cut. Robotics and AI is going to be taking away jobs, so there's going to be some weakness there. So I think that's going to encourage some more cuts as well. Banks are broke. There's been no repo going on, so again, QE is going to help with that. I'm expecting March to start seeing some of this stuff loosening up, but for now, fear is going to be everywhere. The news outlets are going to be all over it. Market makers are going to be gobbling that up. They're going to be turning this market over and just destroying retail. If we look at the stocks that are doing the worst, it's retail. The stocks that are doing the best are the ones that are institutionally held, and all the big pension funds and all that stuff are in them. So retail is feeling this pain the most. We can also see that when we look under the hood, most companies, institutions are buying hand over fist because they know retail is going to dump this. It's the cycle of the market. It's not manipulation. It's how it works. It's how the liquidity is created, and it's how that it's there for you to take advantage of, not to get destroyed in as well. That's us all done and dusted for another Tesla Tuesday wrap up. If you enjoyed this content, give the video a like, share it with your mum, your nan, your dog, your dad, whoever, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you tomorrow.